Hey guys, I'm back for another video and welcome to another Hypixel SkyBlock tutorial, and today I'm back for 25 helpful tips for progression in this game. Hey, before this video starts, if you could go down below and hit that subscribe button, that'd actually be pretty great. I know for you it's free and doesn't really mean anything, but for me it means the world. Like, quite literally, it is my career, it's my life. So if you slightly enjoy the content and want to give me a chance, that would be great. Anyways, let's get on with the tutorial. So the last time I did a video like this was about 4 months ago, and a lot of updates have come out since then, and I have a bunch of tips. So to start out, let's go to the Dwarf Mines. We probably know this area pretty well. The first suggestion would be to make sure to take advantage of the first 4 commissions per day. I have Heart of the Mountain 5, which means I don't need Heart of the Mountain XP anymore, which means that I get a 5 times boost to my mithril powder for doing the daily quest. If you were to do the daily quests for Heart of the Mountain XP, you would actually get a 10 times increase in the amount of XP you get. If you want my advice, don't bother doing anything beyond the first 4 quests per day. I, on my hardcore profile, only did that for about a month and got Heart of the Mountain 5 without really trying. It only took about 15 to 30 minutes a day, even with a regular old titanium pickaxe, not even refined, not even a drill. Okay, so you might notice that in my lobby it says at the top there, passive event 2 times powder. So you can actually take advantage of double powder events to double your commission rewards. So double powder doesn't just apply to the powder you get from breaking blocks, but collecting the commissions also counts as well. So I collected all 4 of my commissions for the day during double powder. So that is extremely important. It practically, if you think about it, right, you get a 5 times boost for doing a daily instead of just a regular commission, and you get a doubling of powder on top of that. So you are 10 times more efficient at getting mithril powder for just doing the dailies during double powder. Now, this also applies to Fetcher and the Puzzler. I haven't set this up yet, but Fetcher is freaking annoying. I know he looks like me because Nick Hyder. But what I would suggest you do is take one of your backpacks here. I would suggest getting a backpack and fill it with all of the available Fetcher loot. Now, I'm gonna bring up a page on the wiki. He either wants yellow stained glass, a compass, firework rocket, a door of any kind, flint and steel, 3 rabbit's feet, super boom TNT, a pumpkin, nether quartz ore, or ender pearls. What I would recommend doing is just get a backpack. Oh, and red wool as well. Just fill a backpack with like a few stacks of each of these items so that every time you stop by Fetcher, you could just give it to him right away. Here's another Dwarven Mines tip that might be helpful for those of you on Iron Man profiles, or maybe you're extremely early game and you just want some free stuff. Well, if you, from the spawn over here, take a sharp right and then go through this window right here, you will meet an NPC called Bednam. Now, all you got to do is turn off your Skyblock add-ons, spam click him. For some reason, he's really annoying. He's not very receptive to clicking. But anyways, when you finally get him to talk, he will describe dreams that he's had. Talk to him for 3 consecutive days. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be consecutive. You can talk to him once, come back a few days later, talk to him again. And once you talk to him 3 times, you can actually find a special loot chest, which is over here. And it's around this, I think it's like this spot. It's in this spot. You get a chest and it has some random loot in it. It's pretty helpful. But yeah, especially for Iron Man profiles, I'm trying to get a refined titanium pick, and it does have a few enchanted titanium in there. This is a tip that I've actually known for a long time, and probably a lot of you guys know, but just to be clear, just so we're on the same page, if you get a refined stunk, mine is actually recombobulated. If you want to be a sweat, you can recombobulate it. If you were to hold this in your hand while you collect your minions, you get increased XP. Now, of course, you could also level up a silverfish or any other mining pet, but I actually want to get my hound pet leveled up. So make sure you have a god potion active, make sure you have cookie buff, all of that for the maximum mining XP. And of course, if you want to go even further than that, you can go into mining skill Heart of the Mountain, and then you can put some powder into Seasoned Mine Man. If you do all those things, you can maximize the amount of mining XP you get from collecting minions. Now, this also works for collecting commissions in the Dwarven Mines. So yeah, I definitely recommend that you have a mining pet at while you do that, but all of my mining pets are level 100. I just really want to get this hound leveled up. It's halfway to level 100. But anyways, you might have noticed during that collection session with the minions, I didn't sell my diamonds. I sold all the snow to the NPC or to the trade menu. But what I would recommend, here's another tip, is to then take your diamonds if you're using snow minions, and then we can head back to the Dwarven Mines. You can actually go into the forge and make refined diamonds using your enchanted diamond blocks. These sell for slightly more. You know, it's not that big a difference, but you know, it's free money. Might as well put those slots to use there, you know what I mean? My next tip is to always carry around a Runans or a hurricane bow when in the Dwarven Mines, or when killing spooky mobs in, for example, the spider's den or the hub, because once a powder ghast or a mega bat spawns, you get to get more hits. Now the thing is, these two types of mobs don't take traditional damage. They take damage in the form of hits, like just how many times can you hit it, and as an additional bonus, you could just shoot like 4 or 5 times and then swap to something like a livid dagger, which gives 100% attack speed, and or you could do a zombie soldier cutlass, which is another suggestion actually. And also you could equip werewolf armor, which gives you, I think it's 40 ferocity, and then you can equip a tiger pet, which at level 100 gives you 100% ferocity, which means you get 80% ferocity on top of everything. Then you can put fast on your bow to get more, I think it's attack speed, right? Or no, fast on the sword to get more attack speed, my mistake. But yeah, you could really be a sweat with this sort of thing and get a ton of hits. I know a lot of people, they run 3/4 werewolf with tarantula boots, and if you really wanted to be a sweat about it, you can actually make an auto pet rule to automatically equip a tiger pet when you select a specific wardrobe slot that, for example, could have your 3/4 werewolf with tarantula boots. But yeah, that brings me into the next suggestion, which I guess is to have either a livid dagger or a zombie soldier cutlass. Zombie soldier cutlass is almost free. I mean, you could get it for a few thousand coins. During spooky festivals, you can hit mobs twice as fast. And everything I said about ferocity also applies if you want to kill spooky mobs much faster. As you can see in the clip I have going here, it's really useful to have the glowing items setting enabled in Badline Client. You can use the glowing items to the walls to see any tickets during a raffle through walls. It's actually great. It looks really hackery and it could be in question, but you guys have to remember this is actually a 1.16 feature, I believe. So even vanilla Minecraft will make items glow. So this is not something you can get punished for. I've done it dozens of times. It's fine. You're not going to get banned for it or punished in any way. But yeah, glowing items is great for raffles. And in addition to that, it's also great for seeing some secrets through walls in dungeons. As you know, some secrets are dropped items. So yeah, it's a great way not to miss secrets in dungeons. Okay, this is a little bit controversial of a suggestion. If you just want to get dungeons done and over with as soon as possible, here's what I recommend. Grind farming for like, I don't know, 10 to 20 million coins worth of farming drops. Might take a day or two if you have really good farming equipment. Head over to the lobby, the dungeons lobby, and then hire somebody to just to just carry you once all the way from no catacombs experience at all, from entrance to floor 7. The surprising thing is that after getting carried through every floor of dungeons once, only one time, you get all the way to catacombs 18. And then if you want to put in the time and the money to get carried like 5 more times, you can get all the way up to like catacombs 22 with like literally within like an hour to 2 hours. It's actually incredible. It's gonna be expensive though. Floor 7 carries are pretty pricey, so yeah, that decision is up to you. But if you value your time and you just want to be able to for example, hop straight into floor 5 and try to get a full Shadow Assassin set without spending weeks of your life trying to get the Catacombs XP to not die. That's how you do it. It's going to cost a ton of money. It might not be worth it for some people. Maybe your time is worth more than that. Oh, bro, I'm recording. Bro, look at that. I'm just recording a video randomly, and this guy has my cloak. Oh, that's incredible. Linked in the pinned comment if you want to get the ThirtyVirus Code Red Badline cloak. I'm nicked right now. This dude's just randomly, he doesn't even know I'm promoting. I don't even know who he is because of Nick Hyder, but that's a thing. That's cool. And of course, if you're gonna get carried, you should be the healer class, and then just step on traps repeatedly with Mastiff Armor. Use the shift ability and wish to heal yourself until you get to milestone 3. If you can't find a trap, just go to the trap room. Seek it out specifically. Try not to get killed. It works. I've done it. I've gotten carried all the way to Catacombs 22 on a profile with doing 0 effort, and it is a great little life hack there. If you want some easy money, you should head over to the builder merchant. Go to Green Thumb, Dandelion, buy the 10 stacks of dandelions, compact them into enchanted, and then you have a stack of 4 enchanted dandelions. Do this like 8 days in a row to the point where you have a decent amount, like let's say 32 enchanted dandelions, or if you're really patient, 16 days so you get a full stack, and then throw it on the auction house. They actually sell for a really good amount because people are desperate. They want to get minion slots for literally like 5 seconds a day. For like just over a week, you can get like 500,000 coins to 1,000,000 coins just free. Speaking of dungeons, if you were to run floors 5 through 7, you might come across some Shadow Assassin or Wither Armor. You might notice that most people will say that getting Shadow Assassin or Wither Armor from the chest is not profit, but you might notice some of these pieces of gear have stars on them. There we go. Protection 6 on this 3-star Shadow Assassin boots. So this guy was running a dungeon and found a 3-starred Shadow Assassin boot with Prot 6. You can get a much higher price for this than you can from, honestly, this guy's selling it for a steal. If I needed Shadow Assassin, I'd buy this right away. But yeah, you can make some pretty decent profit by just paying attention, because if the armor has stars, sometimes it even comes recommed with tier 6 enchantments, then you could sell it for more. I would say each tier 6 enchantment can net you maybe 500k to 1,000,000 extra coins. As I've shown many times before, you can use the Wither Cloak Sword to survive the fire trial all the way up until 30 if you have the health for the first hit. This is actually reminiscent of a bug that used to exist when the fire trial was first made. If you survive the first tick of the trial, you can survive the whole thing. Same case here. If you have a Wither Cloak Sword and you have above, say, 45,000 health, you can survive all the way up until fire trial 30 using a Wither Cloak Sword. The Wither Cloak Sword, like I just said, will allow you to tank hits. So the way it works, though, is it'll consume 10% of your intelligence. Now, as you can imagine, what you could do is a classic. You take your crystal set or your wise set or your storm armor with shadow goggles or whatever, and then you swap to goblin set, and then you activate the Wither Cloak Sword in, say, a high stress environment like the Catacombs floor 6 with the terracottas. What this is going to do is, now that your intelligence is only 100, you're only going to consume 10 mana per hit that you tank. And of course, if you have ultimate wise, then you can actually reduce it to 5. But yeah, so basically you're able to tank roughly 600 hits in some cases without taking any damage. And as we all know, floor 6, the terracotta phase, is time-based, not kill-based. So if you wanted to abuse this, you could just sit there and just let the timer run out without getting attacked. You don't have to do anything, and you're just invulnerable for like 600 hits. It's actually kind of genius, but yeah, it's pretty neat. It's not only a money-making method to just eat a booster cookie, let the bits accumulate, spend the bits on something and resell in the auction house, but you get even more money by stockpiling these bits and waiting for an update to drop. If an update is added and it adds a new community center item, everybody's going to want to get that item, which is going to inflate the demand for any item that uses bits, especially the new ones. So what you could do is use your stockpiled bits to then buy the crap out of that new item and then immediately resell in the auction house for its inflated price, because update day always has inflated prices, and you can make some massive profit, way more than if you were to just eat cookies and spend the bits right away. The block zapper could actually be pretty helpful if you were to pair it with one of those cobblestone generators that I actually have still, but I haven't used it in ages. But yeah, if you were to build a cobblestone generator out of any block that's not cobble, and then leave the cobble in the middle, use a block zapper, you can get tons of cobblestone per minute. If Jerry is ever mayor again, which should happen twice a year, aka every 6 months, if you're on an Iron Man profile, make sure to check every 6 hours for when his mayor perks roll over until you find the perks for Diaz. As you can see, shopping spree, increase the daily NPC buy limit by 10 times. For Iron Man profiles, this is massive. The way Jerry works, he copies the stats of other mayors, if that makes sense, for 6 hours at a time and swaps every 6 hours. That means that you should have 3 opportunities over that 5-day span to buy 10 times the normal stuff from merchants, which means you could get full sponge armor on hardcore Iron Man. Yeah, OP. But yeah, you can get a full sponge set. You can upgrade your minions, especially with the quartz here. You can get your ice minion maxed out almost immediately, and for anybody, not just Iron Man, you can get like up to tier 7 flower minion just worth of enchanted dandelions. You can get flint. You can buy, of course, anything from NPCs. One of the best strategies in Iron Man profiles is to buy from NPC, and if you get a 10 times increase for 3 days, that is huge. Derpy is another one of those where you get them every 6 months, and you can actually shoot for alchemy 50 with that 50% increase in skill XP, again alongside skill XP boost potions, cookie buff, a god potion, having a specific pet out. All of these combined together could save you a lot of money, because typically it takes about 14 to 15 stacks of enchanted sugarcane to get alchemy 50, but during Derpy it's about 11 stacks, maybe a little less. Also, it's great for enchanting XP if you were to stock up on not only cane, but you should also stock up on enchanting XP bottles, specifically Grands and Titanics. But you can do it 4 times a day, and Derpy's mayor for 5 days, so you get 20 of these with 50% more XP, which means you can get enchanting XP extremely fast. I would say you could probably go from enchanting 0 to 50 probably just in that time alone, or maybe even from 50 to 60. But yeah, it's great. And of course you can use Guardian Pet to increase how fast you get the enchanting XP. So you might notice on my island I have quite a few farms. Yeah, I got a lot of farms. Anyways, building all of this was a pain, because not only did I have to add on to farms I already built without the builder's wand, but then I had to demolish old ones, make everything a specific standardized shape, whatever. It takes a very long time to build farms the proper way. Now, there is a faster way to do this. If you were to build a farm with a builder's wand, for example, you can just make a big flat layer of dirt, and then instead of placing, let's say, 4 blocks of dirt, use the builder's wand to go all the way up, leave a gap for water, 4 more blocks with the builder's wand, dirt, you know, continuing on. You could just build a flat layer of dirt and then use a shovel to quickly eliminate the block in the middle. That'll save you a lot of time. So I would say using the builder's wand, build more than you need to, and then use a shovel to get rid of the excess. It's a lot faster that way than it is to make complicated shapes with the builder's wand or without the builder's wand. So there you go. That's my next suggestion. Oh, and that's really evident with the nether wart farms. Imagine, right, how long it would take to just place 4 blocks of soul sand, put a gap, 4 blocks of soul sand, put a gap, repeating all the way until the end of the island, ×2. And then you have to individually fly out and do each one. Or you could just place a flat layer of both and then just get a shovel and then go ham, and then there you go. You could do 2 layers at once, even if you angle it right while you're running backwards. It saves a lot of time just to get rid of the excess instead of making weird shapes, complicated shapes. Here's a quick tip for farming netherwart. If you log in with a 1.12 client, you're actually going to be more efficient at farming. As you can see in my 1.8 client, the hitboxes are pretty low for netherwart, and it stays exactly the same no matter if you've broken it or not. Now, if you were to log into 112 or above, then the hitbox is actually full sized. So when you break it, you can break it like this, but then the not fully grown has a smaller hitbox, so you can more efficiently farm nether wart, if that makes sense. Now, I know some clients also do this. I'm hoping Badline does it soon, or using I think it's Patcher is one of them. Always have a platform underneath your minions if they're placing blocks. For example, my snow minions, if you were to dig out any snow block, underneath is going to be wood instead of, say, a gap into the void. Now, the reason for that is lighting updates. If you were to just have a bunch of snow minions floating with no blocks underneath, every single time they break a block and then every time they place a block, it's going to cause a hitch or lag on your island. It's going to make everything pause for a second. It's really annoying, and if you have like 29 minions like me, it's going to make it almost unplayable. So yeah, lighting updates in Minecraft are pretty severe, so make sure to have blocks underneath your minions. If you go to your pets menu and you've bought a auto pet rule 2-pack, this is actually a great setup for fishing. So what I would suggest is you were to go in here, create a new rule on throw fishing hook, and then you equip a dolphin pet, and then you create a second rule on enter combat squid. So what this does is it abuses I don't know if I can call it a bug, but what happens basically is when you throw your fishing hook, you equip your dolphin pet, which gives you extra speed when you throw the fishing rod, and on enter combat, it'll give you a squid. Now, on enter combat would suggest you got hit by something, but when you're fishing, just fishing up a mob automatically puts you in combat, even if you don't get hit. Now, of course, what that means is when you kill that mob, you get the increased XP, fishing XP that you get from a squid. So you get the benefit of the dolphin speed and the XP of the squid. So that's a great little suggestion for fishing. Here's another simple one. If you're doing spider or tarantula slayer or Svens, there's a strategy that you can use to make things a little less painful. Bring a friend or two into the same lobby, farm in different spots, but when your boss spawns, get your buddy to come over to you and get the final hit on the boss. What that's going to do is give them the combat XP required to progress their Slayer quest, while you still get your drops and everything, whatever. And then once they spawn a boss and are ready to kill it, you get the final hit. This is known as boss trading, and it gives you guys I would say a 25% boost in your speed for doing your Slayers. This could be especially helpful with the Svens, because I know Svens are notoriously slow. Spider Slayers are notoriously slow, but for a different reason. It's because people freaking steal mini bosses. Okay, here's the last suggestion. Again, this should be well known, but actually a lot of people don't even consider it, including me for a while, to be honest. Once the buy it now system was added to the auction house, I loved it because I'm a YouTuber and people snipe my bids all the time. So my situation might be a little different, but for most of you, it actually might make sense to go into the auction browser and then instead of bin only, do show all, because, and then instead of lowest bid, do ending soon. You can actually get a decent price for most items in the game if you just fight for it in a regular old-fashioned bid. Now, of course, this isn't going to work for me because I'm a red name and people love to troll red names, but if you want to save some coins, then try buying your gear without doing bin. So yeah, I know it seems obvious. Oh, and the other thing is you can actually track how many players are online on Hypixel at any given time. I think there's like High Tracker or something. There's a website for it. Make sure to put your bids in when like no one's online. Go for bids that are ending at like midnight. People were dumb. And by midnight, I mean in the United States. That's where most of the player base is. Make sure to log in on the hours when the least amount of people are on Hypixel, so you get the least amount of competition, and then you might be able to win some cheap bids there. We all know through Nullsy's Dirt to Hyperion, Dirt to 50mm Midas series, you can see the value in winning bids instead of just going for buy it nows, which are easy, but you might pay a premium for that ease. I'd like to give a special thank you to my friend Bernie, aka Alienator5000, for I would say about a third of these tips. He knows a lot about SkyBlock and he helped me out. So if you'd like to return the favor, I am going to leave a link to his channel in the description down below. He's trying to hit 30K. Let's get him to YouTube rank. Let's do it. And again, if any of these tips helped you out, a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. I upload these type of videos pretty frequently alongside my typical Let's Play content, which has a lot of funny moments, a lot of good edits, whatever. The choice is yours, but just know it helped me out a lot. Anyways, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.